Before the story begins, hit that subscribe button and join us for magical adventures every week. Long ago, in a village nestled by the edge of a vast ocean, life revolved around the waves. The villagers called the ocean Mama Bravery, the mother of the sea. Every morning, they sang songs to her as the fishermen sailed out in their wooden boats, and every evening, they gave thanks when the boats returned, full of fish. But the village had fallen into hard times. For months, the fishermen had come back with empty nets, their faces lined with worry. The once lively sea seemed lifeless. The tide pools, once teeming with tiny fish and crabs, were empty. Even the seagulls that circled above the shore had grown quiet. "This is not natural," said Elder Penda, the oldest woman in the village, her voice as firm as the rocks on the shore. "Mama Bravery is angry. We must find a way to appease her." "But how?" asked a younger villager. "We have already offered her gifts." "We will think of something," Elder Penda replied, but her tone was heavy with doubt. Among the villagers was a curious boy named Juma. He was 12 years old, with bright eyes that always seemed to be searching for adventure. Juma loved the sea more than anything. He would wake up early every morning, long before the rest of the village, and run to the shore. "Juma, don't wander too far," his mother would call after him, shaking her head. The sea is not the same anymore. But Juma couldn't resist the call of the ocean. To him, the sea was alive, filled with mysteries waiting to be discovered. One morning, as the first rays of sunlight danced on the water, Juma made his way to his favorite spot by the rocks. The tide had gone out, leaving behind puddles of water filled with glistening seaweed and shiny shells. Juma loved these walks. He would search the sand for treasures, smooth stones, colorful shells, or bits of driftwood. "Maybe today, I'll find something truly special," he said to himself. As he wandered, something caught his eye. A golden glimmer peeked out from the wet sand. Juma knelt down and carefully dug it out. It was a golden scale, larger than his hand and smooth as glass. When he held it up to the sunlight, it sparkled with every color of the rainbow. "What kind of creature could this belong to?" Juma whispered. He had never seen anything so beautiful. Juma tucked the scale into his pocket and ran home, his heart racing. He couldn't wait to show it to his mother. That evening, as the villagers gathered by the central fire, Juma overheard their worried voices. "The ocean has abandoned us," said one fisherman. "Without fish, how will we survive?" "We need to find another way," added another. "If this continues, we will starve." Juma looked at his golden scale and felt a strange sense of hope. Maybe the scale was a sign. Maybe it could help the village. But he decided to keep it a secret for now. The next evening, unable to contain his curiosity, Juma returned to the beach. The sun had set, and the sky was painted with stars. The ocean looked like a sheet of silver under the moonlight. As Juma walked along the shore, he heard something strange. A song. It was soft and sweet, like the sound of the wind and the waves. The melody made Juma's heart feel light, as if it was floating. "Who's there?" he called out, his voice trembling. The singing stopped. Then, out of the corner of his eye, Juma saw movement near the water. He turned and gasped. Sitting on a rock was a girl. Her hair shimmered like gold under the moonlight, and her skin glowed softly. But what caught Juma's attention most was her tail, a long, shimmering tail covered in golden scales. You're a mermaid?" Juma stammered. The girl smiled. "Yes. My name is Lira. I come from the deep ocean. You have something that belongs to me." Juma's hand went to his pocket. "The scale," he asked, pulling it out. "It's yours." Lira nodded. "Yes. It is very special to me. May I have it back?" For a moment, Juma hesitated. The scale was the most beautiful thing he had ever found. He wanted to keep it forever. But then he looked at Lira, and he saw the kindness in her eyes. "Here," he said, handing her the scale. "I didn't know it was yours. I'm sorry." Lira smiled, her eyes shining. "Thank you, Juma. You are kind and honest. Because you returned my scale, I want to give you something in return. I can grant you one wish. Juma's mind raced. He could wish for gold or jewels or even to live in a palace. But then he thought of his family and the villagers, who were struggling to find food. I wish for the sea to be full of fish again, he said. So my village will never go hungry. Lira's smile grew wider. That is a noble wish, Juma. You care for others more than yourself. Your heart is pure. She clapped her hands, and the ocean began to glow. The waves sparkled with golden light, and suddenly, the water was alive with movement. Schools of fish leaped out of the waves, their silver bodies shining like stars. Larger fish swam near the surface, and even the shadows of whales could be seen in the distance. The sea will provide for your village again, Lira said. Your wish is granted. The next morning, the fishermen returned with their nets so full of fish that they could barely lift them. The village erupted in celebration. We are saved, the villagers cried. The ocean has blessed us. Juma watched from the shore, smiling to himself. He wanted to tell everyone about Lira, but he decided to keep her a secret. She felt like a treasure meant only for him. Weeks passed, and one quiet night, Juma heard Lira's song again. He ran to the beach and found her sitting on the same rock. Juma, she said, your wish has brought happiness to your village. I want to give you one more gift. She handed him a small, glowing shell. This is a magic shell. If you ever need help, hold it tight and call my name. I will come to you, no matter where I am. Juma took the shell and smiled. Thank you, Lira. I will keep it safe. From that night on, Juma and Lira became friends. She visited him often, and they would talk for hours. Lira told him stories about the wonders of the deep ocean, about glowing creatures that danced in the darkness, underwater cities made of coral, and ancient shipwrecks guarded by giant sea turtles. Juma shared tales of his village and the people who lived there. Though they came from different worlds, their bond grew strong. Every time Juma looked out at the sea, he felt a deep sense of wonder and gratitude for the ocean, for Lira, and for the magic that had changed his life forever.